Looks like we're starting, and we are live. Okay, we're live on a Funny to the Moon. We're going to try and do this on a Google Hangout, audio only for the most part, to make it easier for our connection to stay crispy with the audio. That's our guess. Tana's working on something today, and our topic is Defending the Beautiful Mind of Richard Dawkins. Article came through my Facebook feed this morning, which was about Richard Dawkins and the comments he made. The article said, defending mild pedophilia. But that's not what he said. You hear that buzz, or is it just me?
Yeah, no, it's a buzz.
Is it going now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Defending, but then when you start to go research it, that's not only not what he said, but this particular incident happened a long time ago, or a really long time ago. September last year, Richard Dawkins had written a response to those allegations that was pretty thorough, explaining where he was coming from as a scientist. And I thought he did a good job. What we were laughing about, we were thinking about this, is that what he said was pretty scientific compared to how, like, sometimes a religious leader will defend other religious pedophilic leaders. You know what I mean? On whatever they happen to have been doing. That's not really what he did. He said, Richard Dawkins said, some teachers.
Looks like we lost Travis.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Something happened. He dropped off. It made a little noise, and he was gone. Let me see what my status says.
There he is. He's come back.
I dropped off. That was crazy. Okay, so it seemed to me like that's not really what he was doing. And I thought he was very thorough in saying, look, the dude just touched my stuff for a couple seconds. I'm not going to act like what happened to me is equal, to the horrors of people who really went through some, daily thing when mine was one incident. I can see that. That seems like simple to understand. But
well, there's another layer to this with the the Facebook frenzy.
Yeah.
And so what people are wanting him to do is say, look, say that it was awful, say that these people are monsters, and like why even muddy the waters?
Keep going.
Huh?
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, why say anything other than whatever happened to you was the worst thing that ever could, and it bothers you, daily. You think about it all the time. I think he's being honest, and I think he even had the extra layer of being in contact and in communication with the other people who had the same issue.
As he's concerned, nobody really shows any lasting trauma, but that's probably because, they've sat around for years and talked about it. And it appears that if everyone's telling the truth, these were singular time, this was a one-time thing once in his life. Right. And so he just can't like sort of defame the things that have happened to other people. and act like he's in their camp. That's what he's saying. He's not in their camp. Multiple times. It didn't last over years. It wasn't like, it was just super creepy and gross. But it happened once, and then nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Charge this guy. Why did?
You know, I think that's fair. That's a fair statement. But these people, I think the person who was posting this, it was a post from some kind of religious blog, and so it would seem to me like this person had all kinds of venom without having that same type of venom, you know, for any of the other religious pedophilic cult members. You know, it seems to me like, you know, that side happens. It happens over and over and over again. Like you had T.D. Jakes defending Bishop Eddie Long, you know, who really was
well, I think what it's the guy, the article, what he's really saying, you know, is that, you know, religious people have a right, almost a duty, to molest children and then be protected from it, and that scientists should stay out of that domain. You know what I mean? They haven't sort of earned it, because if these people don't put out articles and use people's names every single time they hear about one of these cases, then they're not truly against it. They're against a non-believer molesting kids, because to the believer, that's it's sort of their it's a privilege of the believer, I think, to do this to kids. And so people get offended when a non-believer, because they're not offended at the action of it, obviously.
Right.
There's never been any real persecution. A couple of articles, the Pope might have fired some people, or it's a joke. And so, and anyway, so when you first told me about this article, I was like, what? He said that? This is, never heard of that. And so I said, wait, where'd you get this from? And when you said Facebook feed, I was like, oh, you know, immediately suspect. Like, oh, okay. And what? I go, this could be a Facebook frenzy thing, where, meaning it only exists on Facebook. And sure enough, this article is like, what, a couple years old?
Yeah. So it looks like Travis dropped out again.
Oh.
But yeah, you're pretty close on that.
And so I wait a minute, it's already fishy. Anything coming off of Facebook,
Right.
This could be frenzy. Just somebody trying to start something up that's dead and gone, and no one cared about the first time around. I've never even heard of all this, but if you read Richard Dawkins' breakdown of it, and actually what he said, he never says anything like, what's the term they made? Mild pedophilia? Yeah. I mean, and when he said he sat in this man's lap and stuff, that's not even, what he's saying is, it's not even pedophilia. That. Right. This was, I mean, literally, he's talking about 2 steps. I mean, if mild pedophilia, then so is sitting on Santa's lap.
Right. And what he said about that was his personal experience did not traumatize him at all. And later in a tweet, he said it doesn't diminish what happened to other people. Right, because he
wants to give.
He didn't make that perfectly clear in his book, so he had to bring it back in through Twitter to make it right, or to make what he said controversial.
Had I lost y'all for a second?
Yeah, you were down.
Yeah,
for
you're
like
gone.
1 minute.
But I was sitting here reading articles. That was crazy. Anybody there? Can y'all hear me at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what were y'all talking about? What did I miss? Anything?
No, just about how. I brought up the fact
Man, that's a
that when
buzz,
you
man.
said that this article,
Yeah,
there is serious.
we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that's coming from. It was coming from your second feed.
Okay. So then here, let me do this. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think we're getting some sort of weird feedback.
All right. So what I'll come on like this. Yeah, I just found it interesting that a lot of people took the opportunity to try to go and use like general terms, like here's this atheist that's all in favor of child support. I mean, of child abuse, child support.
As mild doesn't affect
Anybody.
one. That's almost
Hmm.
like an anti-statement to what he said. It's like saying Richard Dawkins loves fucking kids. I mean, it literally is going that far. I mean, it's like so far away to say he says that mild pedophilia doesn't hurt that. Like, and so that's why I'm like, oh, this is a Facebook frenzy.
Right, because you can use it. You just throw an absolute
Yeah.
out. Right, you throw a statement with absolute on a pseudo or celebrity person.
With this guy, I wish he would dig up
Kanye
2-year-old.
West says Bush. What? He
I don't
said,
know.
"I wish." He said, "I wish this guy would dig up 2-year-old," and he stopped.
Yeah, I think he was talking about the article,
Mm-hmm.
but he seemed to have
Can you hear me?
lost.
You can't hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, your audio goes in
Yes.
and out.
Just that. But that time when you said, "Can you hear me? Can we hear you?" It was clear.
Right.
Then is dig up some 2-year-old articles of the Catholic priest stories. Well, why this story? You molesters to tell on. Not. You remember Richard Dawkins. In the end, what is he? A victim. Let's not forget that.
Right.
Why doesn't this guy want to dig up old articles of the perpetrators, the predators? He's basically what this is to me. He's not really Dawkins is being mean. He's being mean. He's saying that I get to assess the level of trauma of people that have gone through something that I haven't. I mean, that's an amazing statement. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, that literally is what he's saying.
Yeah.
I assess what
Right.
level of trauma you should claim for things that I never went through. I'm like, oh wow, okay. In fact, call me, and I'll tell you how you should feel. I'll tell you what level of trauma you should be at.
Right. I got it all here in my head. I can let you know. That's what. But that's not what Dawkins was saying at all, right? Dawkins was just saying this is what happened to me and my schoolhood friends, and we, actually, there's another layer to this, which is he said that right after his schoolhood friends, the guy, touched his, had him on his knee and touched his stuff. He said that he went and talked to his friends about it. That's vastly different than someone who didn't have anybody to talk to about it, because it was a family member. And he says that. I don't know. I just think it's I don't know.
Facebook frenzy. He's trying to
Start some mess. Yeah.
because it has, and that's what I clown about social media is that it's created this sense of, you got to be aware
All right. Since this is doing it like this,
of the social. Is what?
yeah. See, that
Clicking.
doesn't work.
There's something clicking in and out.
No, you do cut in and out. So yeah, Robert clicks.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, mute yourself for a minute, Robert, and then Tina talk and see if it stays on. I'll even mute myself.
It's this
Hello,
Robert
hello.
guy, man. You can see it popping and clicking on his thing. It's dude's got a
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Tina's
Yeah.
just cutting out from being on a headset. This dude's got a pop and click that's annoying.
That's what I'm hearing too.
Sounds fine now. See. $100 on a stereo makes it sound like shit.
So go ahead and talk, Tina. Tina's muted. Tina, can you unmute yourself? Or are you doing something that you? This is a funny to the moon test.
You sound good now. No pop, no click, no hiss, no buzz.
Yeah, there.
Okay, let's try it.
There, I got unmuted.
Okay. All right. So
I got you guys 100 watts on a big stereo.
100 watts in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, coming to you live from the ghetto. It's funny to the moon. Yes. All right. So, Tina, what was one of the other subjects we were gonna break down? Facebook frenzy. Sure, there's something there that is you'll see an article that floats around for a while, and then it disappears, and then somebody else will bring it up 3 or 4 months later like it was brand new to them. But I think that's just the general. You don't find out. I mean, sometimes I'll find out about something, and people say, "Man, that was a long time ago," but I really didn't see it. You know?
Yeah, but that's the phenomenon of social media is that it's sold as this great connective thing. But what happens is you're going to look at only 5 things every day for the rest of your life. Everyone is going to look at 2 or 3 articles, or web pages for the rest of their lives. It actually doesn't serve to connect people because there isn't a push for connectivity. There's a push for marketing. So wherever you land, kissed. These are your friends. These are your da da da. You look at the word. You look at the words that are used. Join, friend, link, like, and it gives people the impression that they're connected to something when really all you're connected to is
Assholes. Mm-hmm.
of great connectivity, and we share relevant art where it keeps because I think that they're, I guess what I'm saying, if you think you're empowered by being a slave master, doesn't even need a gun.
Right.
So if this mass marketing media what use ego and they use pride and the subliminal. So people feel like they're included. People feel like they're making a difference. And isolating yourself and really push to present things in front of you that hopefully, you're just going to get and you're just going to buy. One of the biggest ways they do it, and this isn't some big like mystery or some like psychological, like these guys are pros of the whatever. It's as simple as your eyes, your range of focus, right, is about the size of your thumb at arm's length. So what you are consciously focusing on and looking at is just a tiny amount of the field of vision. But the whole field of vision is being collected by your brain. But you can only focus on a small part straight ahead of you at any one time. I'm looking at this article. That's why they surround web pages with articles. Because whether you're looking at the McDonald's ad or the flashing and blinking on the sides of the page, right? Or maybe there's a banner at the top of the page scrolling through with information. You're ignoring it all. To you, you're ignoring it, you think. And you're reading of all these advertisements. But the range of your sight is picking up all of that. And it's the little ding, it's the red car, it's the heart that floated by, it's the pretty girl with the windy hair. Is being gathered and stored in you. Oh, you're just reading what you think you're in the day or days later. Or your life or the other. And when you're walking in the that's what you think. You're making a decision. You're consciously aware of wanting Oreos. From. You have no chance to know where it came from. Because of all advertising subliminal. And so that's how this works. It's like some, trick. It's you the sort of the weaknesses of your senses that you don't know and are not chopping at every moment what normally unless you smell a farm or the air is just filled with the smell of shit or filled with the smell of smoke. How much smell this, right? You don't really pay attention. But meanwhile, a very complicated stream of chemicals are flowing in and out of your nasal passages constantly, being recorded, being remembered. And so all of these things people do. That's why not the phone. Or cars going, we're trying to ignore things on the show. They're ignoring you. You get done with the sentence and you go, what do you, huh? Right? Well, wait, say that again. Now, your ears They're vibrating from me, the air molecules, your ear, and it got that. I am going to the store. I vibrated your eardrum. That got recorded. What did you say? How come you didn't record it? Where were you at? You were looking at an article. You were staring out the window. How come we can tune out the teacher? Now, do you think you have stopped your eardrums from vibrating? Or you've stopped the air from moving from the teacher's voice box? So everything the teacher is saying is flowing into your ears and being stored in your brain, except you didn't hear the bitch all day. I don't know what she talked about today. I didn't hear her. You didn't record it, but your brain certainly did. And all things are happening. It's in the music. It's in this. There's a lot of Illuminati shit that's a little too much. They don't make things into secret black magic techniques by the wealthy. These are just basic magician's tricks on how understanding how bad our senses are, and the idea of the conscious and the subconscious. And that's it. And man, you can run someone around like a ring in their nose if you get really good at it and they don't change their environment. And it's study after study after study after study. You give 1,000 people a bunch of questions. You put them in a certain color room with a certain color music and a certain kind of music and a certain scent in the air, and everything they write down is like negative. Life is hard. It's tough, and my parents suck, and everything's shitty, and people are bad. And then you get this. Then you do the same questionnaire. It's a different set of music. It's a different color on the walls, and there's different smells in the air. Warm toast, light blue, classical music. Give them the same breakdown, the same interviews. Now they're positive. Look up. Stand up for yourself. Be good to people. People are basically good. I mean, these are amazing. And how everybody thinks they're thinking for themselves in these studies. It'll say, answer the best of your ability. Be specific. Your senses can be so manipulated that, that's why denying access to your eyes and ears is your best defense. I haven't watched TV now. All I'm missing is wanting sugary drinks. I'm missing news. I'm not disconnected from the world. I'm just unplugged from commercialism. And Facebook, Twitter, and all this social media is one of the biggest lockdowns of the human brain. And people are just so unaware of what's being done to them online and how much they are agreeing to their enslavement, because it's done so well, because everything except for smells and touch, but really a keyboard is very tactile. A touch screen on your iPad is very tactile. Using a mouse is very tactile. You've got your eyes, you've got your ears. The only thing you don't have is smell. But we know with images, close-up HD full screen, and then kick a sizzle on that. That sizzle and that bacon can make me smell bacon. Come on! A beautiful, crispy-looking picture of bacon or video with a sizzle sound, with the grease popping, can make you smell bacon. Smell it.
Can make you
as if the molecules actually entered your nasal cavity.
Can make you smell mom's bacon. Oh yeah, you can
yes.
And so they're smelling popcorn or
And so these things are like not a joke. And the only defense against it is to not be cavalier Nobody has those abilities. There is no one that can do it. It's because it's not up to us. That's why it's called the subconscious. Because there is no ability to join it. And I know I'm not being. That's what your subconscious is not available to you. That's why it's called the subconscious. So to act like I control my subconscious, I know what's going into my eyes and ears and my nose. You just don't. And it's not something embarrassing. That's not, you're not like subhuman. You're superhuman. That's why you have access to that. For some reason, have separated the categories. And some things we get to know and respond to, and some things we don't know, and they make us respond. There's stories of there's a young designer, child, 4 or 5 years old, and would kick and scream and cry when his mom and his aunts would go out on the town, and he would outfit, and he would change her dress like he didn't approve. And people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? Screaming that's a bad dress. Mom, you shouldn't wear brown. And it would make and he turns out to be, I think it's like Yves Saint Laurent. I think that's the story they tell about him. Now, where did he get that at that age? Where did he get the love of form and fabric and shape? And where is that from? It's from somewhere, but he.
And that's his fashion story. But
Because what's that?
I'm listening. That's why social media is dangerous.
It is. See, the best way to trick somebody into buying a lot of bullshit is to make them believe that this is their choice, that these purchases empower them. It's able to empower you in a false way, to make you feel like some sort of king of your world. I'm in control of my, it's the universe that you are. You think you're in the middle. It's a phenomenon of the shape. Just like anywhere you are on the planet, the horizon, you have to stand on the horizon. As soon as you move toward the horizon's farther away. There's no way to ever reach it, that edge of the earth. And so in the same way, there is no way for you to control this thing and to be in charge of it. Although people, I defriend or whatever it's called, I unfriend people, I block this, my little privacy settings and all that. It's all a joke. It's all to make you feel empowered and that everyone that comes in your friends themselves. When everybody looks out into social media, they're in the center. That's one of the best tricks that it pulls on people. No matter where you're sitting, in whatever house, in whatever city or state,
you're still the center of Facebook.
Office chair, you're.
That's a good one.
Someone else is coming in and sending things out. Yeah, from you. So when you send something out, or you like an article, or like another video, you're wrong. Wow, the king has spoken. You are welcome. Take that like with health. I have liked you, and you are more than welcome. You don't owe me anything. It was my pleasure to like your site. And in fact, I've shared it with my what? Followers. I've shared your site with my followers. You're welcome. The king again. And that's somebody on the outside who's not involved in it is are the only people that can tell you about it.
You know, you're right, because you have to be able to step outside in order to be able to tell the truth about what's going on. Because when you're in it, your vision is distorted by being in it. Yeah,
Standing
I
out.
don't. Go ahead. Standing out, you said?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Um,
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if I like doing it this way. I would almost rather do it as just a regular Google Hangout, the audio, and then we post the audio. Because where you can just
yeah,
call in,
me
just
too.
phone. All right, so once again, let's stop this, and I'll have you call. How can we do it so we can record it? The best way we should do this, I think, we'll just do a Google Hangout here on the Funny to the Moon, Google, a regular Hangout, not a Hangout on air, and then I'll have you. I'll have Tina, I'll have you call my phone where we'll do the record thing, and then I'll call your phone from the Google Hangout. Does that make sense?
Then why would I call you first?
Because you got to call me to start the recording. That's on that other line that I call you on, the 850 line. Does that make sense?
And then what?
And then I'll call. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, we have to do it that way. You call me on that other line. I'll hit the record button, and then I'll either call my phone or your phone from a Hangout. Does that make sense?
If I call you and then you call me back.
Okay.
Uh,
You're calling me from the line that records, the 850 line.
yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, once we do that, that's just me and you on the phone. So that has to be connected to everybody else, some kind of way. Okay? And I'm going to call that from the Google Hangout. I'll either call my phone and click it in, or I'll call in your phone and three-way it in. Probably my phone.
Okay.
Your phone drops out more frequently. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. So let's hang up this, and then you call me from the other phone.